All right, and we're back for episode...
We're all so excited.
That music startled me.
We're actually doing the original this time.
I've never seen you jump that. You're perched in your chair like a cat.
Man. Like I said, it's so weird doing this in the morning now. I'm like on edge.
It's so nice to see your fresh face in the morning.
Really?
It really is. I'd much rather be here this time than like late at night.
I got some wicked razor burn like down on my jowls.
Stop shaving against the grain, man.
That's the only way you get close.
It is the only way you get close, but you got it. If you do it, you go and get that razor burn.
I bet Rick doesn't have that problem.
With that man beard.
Yeah. How is he getting that stubble like that? There's no way you can have a clippers like a Norelco with the guard on it. It looks like he's constantly getting like on a 2.
You'd think so.
How does he charge that battery?
I don't know. I think Alexandria does have power. They have solar panels and stuff.
Yes.
In the zombie apocalypse, the best way to explain electricity, solar panels.
Of course.
But so we arrived.
Or a hamster wheel.
Was this episode 4, right? Episode 4. I was thinking 5. Yeah, it was 4 because we had Negan kill them, then we had the Kingdom, then we had Dwight. Now back to Negan. Okay, so I really enjoyed this episode, but as I told you both before it started, and it's not an issue, but the only thing I can say, and Jeffrey Dean Morgan's doing a fantastic job playing Negan. But I'm not. They're like, you're gonna love him, like, and it's like, no, I want him to die, especially after this episode. He's such an asshole. I mean, he plays it so well, but I mean, like, I'm not finding myself falling in the team Negan. I still, I'm like, I despise him. He's an asshole, but he plays it so freaking well.
I was a little disappointed he didn't wear like his red scarf. I was really looking forward to seeing that again, but. I guess that's just like a special occasion. I'm gonna murder a couple of people's scarf.
Just like the shaving. You know, he referenced, I got to shave this shit.
Yeah, he keeps saying that.
But he never did.
Shave, yeah.
Because he had another role, that he was not allowed to shave for, is why he kept the original and the finale, which is why he made a reference to it. It was like, I got to shave this shit. But then they didn't. And I guess they're just going to leave it, which I'm not really that big of a stickler for that. That I'm not going to not like the Negan character because he didn't shave. But you notice too, and I've seen them live at Comic Cons, and it seems, and maybe I'm looking at it wrong, that Jeffrey Dean Morgan's about the same height as the most of them, maybe a little bit taller. But on the show, I guess because Negan in the comic was so much bigger and taller than everyone. It seems like in the show at some points, especially next to like Daryl, who I think is like 5'10" in real life, they make Negan look a lot taller, I guess to be more physically imposing.
Oh my God, did you guys see Dave Chappelle doing the Negan skit on
I shared that on on the official Facebook of ours. Yeah.
I just thought about that.
He played a pretty good Negan, actually.
It was great, wasn't it?
I mean,
I'm imagining the skit in my head right now.
Yeah,
that was fun.
I wish I could do a good Chappelle impersonation. Matt, you probably can. Do Dave Chappelle.
Do him. I don't know, Negan. I can't eat all of that bat. I'm gonna try.
What did he say?
Where you gonna put that bat, Negan?
What did he say when he was talking about hurry up before my health insurance runs out in the next 2 months?
Oh, I love it. And who was the guy in the middle? It wasn't Rick James, like the pimp dude. Who was that supposed to be?
The hater guy.
Yeah.
Because you had the racist black guy, which was when he went to him, I'm like, who is that? And then I realized, when he started, I was like, oh man, that was one of my favorite skits.
That was wonderful.
So it was great to see Dave Chappelle back at it with all those characters that we just love and miss so much. But this episode, Dwight too, if they're trying to make us like Dwight, they're not doing a good job, because I absolutely God, I hate him after this episode.
Wrote that down. Jeez, I hate Dwight.
Yeah, like you think last episode they're trying to add some humanity to him and make you realize he's in a sticky spot. But I mean, he just takes any liberty to be an asshole even when Negan's not looking. Like you would think if you're supposed to like him, then maybe when Negan wasn't looking, he'd be like, I'm going to let you keep your hat, whatever. But he's just a complete douche, which is kind of how he was in the comics. He was kind of a douche.
These cold opens of these first few episodes, like where it's just no talk for a couple of minutes, like the intense silence. I'm digging it. I'm digging the openings. I like how Michonne looks over at Rick like he farted in bed. I was like, was there a silent fart that we didn't know about? She looked at him like, how dare you?
She did.
I'm getting out of here. I'm going to go shoot some zombies. I'm so mad.
I guess, what they're trying to do is fill in for Andrea, because remember, Andrea was the sharpshooter.
That's true.
In the comics. And when the whole Negan thing was happening, and especially with the attack, Andrea's sharpshooting plays a big role like it did with the governor, with her up in the tower and everything. And Sasha was kind of taking that role for a while, but now it looks like they might, because Andrea and Rick were together in the comics, so it looks like they might be shaping up Michonne
I think so too.
To take on that mantle of the group sniper.
One thing I noticed, man, there was a lot more space in bed between Rick and Michonne. The last time we saw he had his hand all up on her ass. The last time they were in bed together, granted, they had just banged for the first time, but even still, they need to be spooning and consoling each other. I don't like this coldness.
That's what's going around with everybody.
We just lost friends.
It's like Daryl. I'm a fan of broken down Daryl. I really.
Well, you know
I
what? That's a good segue. Go ahead, though.
When he came in, I looked. I was like, "Oh, Daryl looks good. Oh, that's nice.
He's a little
he
lost some
looks,
weight,
ooh, man." And I love what. No wonder the guy is filming a different TV show because all he has to do is show up on set looking like he just ate 3 cans of SpaghettiOs and has like explosive diarrhea and just stands there and has another single
all they have to do is
line.
film really early, so he comes in real groggy, and they're like, "Norman, perfect. Just don't do anything."
I got to go ride some motorcycles. Can I get out of here?
I had a nice. I'll tell you a cool fan theory about Daryl here in a second. I had a nice flashback earlier. I was surfing through YouTube and I found the commercial from like 2013 from the Super Bowl, I think it was, with talking about Time Warner bringing AMC, and it was the woman's walking around her house and the zombies are all in the house, and then all of a sudden Daryl, you see a crossbow bolt like go through one of their heads, and she's like, "Daryl, we just painted that." And he's like, "Sorry." And then,
that's funny.
Then it comes back, and she says something. She's like, "Y'all clean this up." And as she walks out, Norman Reedus is like, "Yes, ma'am."
Oh, that's funny. I don't remember
this
commercial.
Seen that, I'll show it to you after this. It's really
that's
funny.
Wonderful.
And back when I really loved Daryl, like
Good
I think
humor.
season 3 to 4 was like my Daryl climax.
I wonder if
After
they're
that, it was
trying
kinda
to.
like,
I wonder if they're trying to play him down, like bring him down more, so people won't be as avid supporters. of
Well,
his character.
actually, good segue. An interesting fan theory floating around the internet
I pride
right
myself
now
on my segues. Thank you.
is that it's like we have mind connections. Like we do that. Y'all didn't realize.
out of
that
my brain.
Yeah. So
JP, stop thinking that.
Daryl may become a bad guy. Which you go, oh, I couldn't see that. But you got to imagine the torture and the things he's going through. This isn't just like a simple, "Oh, you hurt my feelings now. I hate
my
y'all."
interest. Go on.
This is, but so like, Negan's basically offering it. They keep telling him, like, what was it? What did Dwight tell him last night with the motorcycle? He's like, "It could be yours again."
Just say the word.
All he has to do is give in. And I could see it playing out. Now that wasn't my theory. That was just a fan theory I found on the internet that they're playing Negan like that. Like an inside source told someone, they were like, by the end of the season, you're going to hate Daryl Dixon. And it could be for 2 reasons. A, it would be a complete mind screw, to throw Daryl as bad guy. But 2, if they eventually want to kill him off, what better way to set that up than to make you hate him for a while, and then maybe have like a saving grace death, like he becomes Negan's right. Maybe they'll kill Dwight and Daryl will take his place as comic.
See, I thought that's what Negan was trying to do with him, and I love how he messes with him so much, and Daryl just acts like it's like the equivalent of a bully at school keeps messing with that one kid to the point where the kid's like, "Screw it, I'll just let him do whatever he wants.
Just do what you want,
Just do
Negan.
it. Just take my lunch money.
Just keep your pants on this time."
Oh man, bullies have changed a lot since I was in school.
Which school did you go to?
Apparently not a good one.
But no, I really, that was really sad too. When Rick's like, "Daryl, and he's like, "Nuh-uh, you don't talk to him. You don't even look at him." And you're like, "Oh." And then when they ride off, and Daryl's just in the back of the vehicle, or whatever that truck was, I guess the military
That
truck.
sounds right. Yeah.
And he's just like, and he's just like looking at him like, "I love you, Rick."
2 households, both alike in dignity.
And then Rick just like, "I love you, Daryl." And they're just like, that's what they said with their eyes as they were.
Then a crossbow bolt goes through a heart.
Right.
Just like the screen just
the end of the
fades.
episode should have been this, and then you heard.
That would have been so beautiful. Yeah, I'm liking what they're doing with Daryl, though. I like how he's really broken down.
Yeah, because how long could you keep playing the same character over and over? Like, we've seen Rick evolve big time, and Daryl's done some evolution, on his own. Would that be the right term? He's done some evolving.
There you
Daryl's
go.
done some
I was going to go
evolving.
with what you said the first time.
It's early, folks, so you have to excuse us. Daryl's done some evolving on his own. I will give him that. I won't say there's been no character development
He's
there.
not the knuckle dragger he used to be.
But it just kind of like got to a point and then just leveled off. Like Rick, we've seen Rick go from "we kill anyone who don't like us," and then to "we need to try to save lives." And
I
then we've
love
seen
your
him
Rick
go,
impression so much.
We've seen
a little
him,
bit of Sling Blade in there, but I
Right.
love it.
Daryl, I miss you.
I want some zombies with French fried taters.
We've seen Rick go from "we need to find people" to "we don't need to find people," and then back to "we need to find people."
And Rick's like, "We got to stop killing all these people," and then it's like, "We got to kill other
everybody."
people.
Yeah. Just like with the what was it with the determinist people? You see any of these people, don't hesitate to kill them.
Oh, yeah.
We
Let's
don't
make up our
kill
mind,
the
right?
living. But so he's been back and forth.
He's a
Daryl's
real
just kind of
pickle.
been.
I know we've talked about this before. Quick question: how good can gas be after a year and a half?
It's not. It's there.
Isn't that one of those
I've read
things
up
where it's
on
like,
that.
yeah.
it would be gone. I
Because they
think
just drove right off.
there's special ways you can preserve gas to make it last a little longer, but after just a few months of not being messed with, it turns into almost, I think, like this gelatinous, like jelly almost.
Okay.
So that destroys the whole premise for the whole Mad Max thing.
Oh, yeah.
Like they're fighting over gas, but there would be no gas.
Well, if they've
Yeah, up
got
until that, I
if
believed
they've got a
everything in Mad
refinery
Max.
and everything,
Oh,
and
they're making
if
their own
they might be
gas.
making gas that they're fighting over, but I mean, you'd have to
Yeah.
be treating the gas. I mean,
Witness
which
me.
There you go. If the zombie apocalypse ever happens, just keep in mind, if you can get a hold of an oil refinery, you would be God. You know what I mean? You could, if you could refine the gasoline, you realize how powerful you would be, because vehicles would be, you know, that's why in the comic books, if you notice, they've moved a lot more towards the horses. You know, there's a lot of horse riding in the comics right now, because cars are just pretty much obsolete as far as the gas.
I would want one of those big, like, Victorian bicycles with the really big wheel in front.
I would want one with 2 seats so you guys could ride with me.
Oh, boy.
You're talking like 3 seats on like a tri-tandem. I don't know what you call that.
Just riding through the zombie apocalypse,
So,
just
on a bicycle built for 3.
Easy street.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude!
Bobbing our heads.
Okay, so if we're not planning on it, we need to plan on it now. We're filming that.
Right,
we're gonna find a 3-seat bike. I'm gonna be riding on the front inside the basket. Easy street.
Do we get to fly? If we reach
straight up ET,
like one of Negan's like motorcades? Can we just fly over?
That's
them?
beautiful.
Wouldn't that be a great way to wrap up this series? So it's like go back to that season 6 finale, and it's like the motorcade, and so Rick's riding with Daryl in his basket, and then Daryl just makes him fly over the motorcade.
And then we'll edit out all the guns and put walkie-talkies in their place like they did in E.T.
Right.
Because originally they had guns and they had to change it because it was too scary. So that's why they're pointing their walkie-talkies like they're guns.
That.
Go back and watch
That's
it.
very interesting.
And there was supposed to be a sequel. But they never made it, and it was about E.T. getting back home, and it was more of an action sci-fi. They released his real name. Terrible.
It was Benjamin.
Dude,
Spoiler
the history
alert.
of E.T. is a very nice Christian name, Benjamin.
Right. He enjoys a stiff whiskey, but not too much to anger the Lord.
Who doesn't?
Right.
All right. That's in the Bible, too. You can enjoy your whiskey, just not enough to anger the Lord. That was the 11th commandment. Okay, sorry. I took us off track. Michonne out there shooting. She shoots like I play Call of Duty.
Right.
All over the place.
Right.
Like, it's amazing. And
I like that they did that, though, because that's what, and I mean, again, it's like Stephen Yunit said, you know, people, we and it's fun to nitpick, but at the same time, it's a show about dead people eating living people. So you can't be, but I mean, it really is like the show has been just crazy with these improbable headshots. It's not, you know, coming from someone who does a lot of shooting. It's not. It can be hard just to hit a bottle sitting, you know, 50 yards away.
Oh, yeah, you shoot a lot, too, so you know.
So it's like you consider a little thing moving, you know, center. That's why people shoot center mass in real life, because it's just much easier to hit. So, I mean, it's their headshot. So I'm glad they kind of brought it back to reality with Michonne, because before she even shot, she was holding that, you know, that rifle up. And I remember before she pulled the trigger, I was like, that would be a difficult shot, because your arms it's just really hard to steady through a scope at that range with a zombie going back and forth. And I'm glad that they showed the reality of how hard it is to hit these headshots.
So who do you think is going to take the first pot shot at Negan? Rosita, Michonne, probably not Spencer.
Probably Rosita. I mean, right now, I think the way they're setting it up.
Rosita is, I have to ask my Spanish speaking friends, but I'm pretty sure Rosita is Espanol for badass.
Right. I love Rosita.
La Rosita.
They're setting it up for Spencer. We're going to find out if he has any guts or not.
That's what I'm thinking.
I'm not going to tell you what that alludes to if you don't read the comics, but just remember, do you like Spencer? Do you think he's, got no gall,
not really
no
caring
guts?
for him too much lately.
Oh, no, he's a little bitch.
Love his real life impressions. Go online, look up Ross Marquand. It's like micro impressions. Really funny guy.
Yeah, he's one of those characters, man. I don't like him. No, wait. You talking about Aaron?
Sorry.
Or Spencer, yeah. Aaron is the one.
Let's just go whatever I meant. We can edit that in post, right?
Aaron, you're right. Aaron, the guy Ross that plays Aaron, does amazing impressions. His
they all look the
impressions are
same.
awesome.
I can't remember.
Spencer is the little douchebag Deanna left behind.
Okay, I know what you're talking about. I got it now. Sure.
But no, Spencer's definitely heading down a road to make us hate him. I mean, he's been pretty much, should we make a deal? I loved when he mentioned Glenn and Abraham to Rick, and Rick stopped, and we finally start seeing Rick show a little restraint because Rick told him, he's like, you ever say anything like that again, I'll knock you, I'll break your jaw and knock you. I love how he described it almost like, I'll break your jaw. Knock your teeth down. Your
just
throat.
like he said it a million times before. You know the drill.
He told Shane that. The starting revelation that Judith is not Rick's, like we've all thought it, but Rick now admits to it. I wish they would have made it more concrete. Like, well, the funny thing is, Lori kept trying to tell me it's mine, but we hadn't had sex since I woke up.
Or like his wiener.
I hope she didn't do nothing to me while I was in a coma.
Well, I mean, you think that was, and of course it's a sci-fi show, but a horror thriller. But, there's one thing they left out of Rick's awakening. He would have had to have plopped a catheter out. And you know how bad that would have sucked? Because you don't go under that long without a catheter. I mean, he wouldn't just be pissing himself and crapping himself. Well, I don't know if you crap yourself when you're in a coma. I think it's all liquefied.
Probably just automatically crap.
Right.
If you're like me, you just crap yourself at any given moment. You never know.
Don't even need to be in a zombie apocalypse coma. Just don't feel like getting up.
It's the same thing as a bear. If a zombie attacks you, just shit your pants.
Right.
And they'll be deterred.
Yeah, but like I said, he would have definitely had to have done that. But I think that it was pretty interesting that way, because my dad said, and it was true, like, I get his point that you explaining, but the whole Shane revelation was kind of just out of nowhere. It didn't really I don't feel like it fit with where they were going. I get he was trying to say, I've got to protect Judith or whatnot, but it's like, Shane, Rick, why are you telling me this?
A lot of blank stares from Rick this season. I need to get
that.
So
oh, man.
Like, Andrew Lincoln's face does better acting than majority of Hollywood.
Everyone
right
in this show, for the most part, do fantastic at acting. I mean, I think Andrew Lincoln if you watch him from the beginning to now, I mean, he has just become such a fantastic actor. And it might not be, but I want to say this show is almost a think for it, because I don't think he really had that many versatile roles before this, to where he had to show so much emotion. I think he actually had kind of a comedy role before. So it's interesting to see, his progression as an actor, because I think now he's one of the most talented actors on the entire set. I mean, he's so good.
It's weird to go back. I saw Love Actually over the weekend. It's so weird to see, like, young, clean shaven, cleaned up Andrew. It was weird.
Yeah, and I mean, he might have had some serious roles, but I just don't remember. I've never seen anyone throw one out there, But
and I'm getting back to where we haven't even got through half the episode yet.
No,
and we're talking mainly about the episode.
I know.
Maybe the key is to not stay on track, and then I don't know. I'm really starting to like. Thank you. I'm really starting to like Father Gabriel a little bit more.
I thought he had the gun at first, because when he walked up to Rick, it was like, "Would you like to?" Well, he said, "Would you like to pay your respects?" Because they now are telling Negan that Maggie's dead. For some reason, I guess, so he won't go after her. But, when Father Gabriel, when they were in the graveyard, he kind of like patted his pocket. I thought he was kind of telling Rick, I got a gun, Well, he doesn't talk like that, so he'd be like, I have a gun.
That was good. There you go. I have a gun.
But I like the way he stepped up, kind of passively aggressively challenging Negan in a way. Are we here to pay our respects?
And that's never a good sign. I feel like they're going to kill him.
Oh, probably. That's what I hate about the show is, though, whenever they bring a character to the forefront that's not like Rick or Michonne, they're going to die. I wish they would just stop that trend for a while to throw us off. Like, bring Father Gabriel up, give him a more prominent role, make us love him, and here's an idea. Let's not kill him right now.
Yeah.
Let's let him become a staple character for a season or two, and then his death will mean so much more than giving him his own episode to where we really like him this one episode and then kill him at the end of it. As you did with Dale, as you've done with Denise.
Who?
Denise.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm sure you don't.
I don't know who that is. That doesn't ring a bell.
Doctor.
Denise, I don't know.
I thought, JP, turning to the comics side of it, in the comics, spoiler alert, 3, 2, 1.
Nice.
You had time.
Good.
You've been warned if you were reading the comics. You remember in the comics, they took Holly, Negan, because Negan does not rape women, but there's a big misconception that Negan don't kill women. No, Negan kills women too.
But
he just doesn't rape them.
Right.
And so Holly, he stops her from getting raped by one of his people, and they kill Holly and give her back with a bag over her head. And then, of course, when they pull the bag out, she bites Denise, who in the comics is actually with Heath, but then it kills Denise.
You keep talking about? I don't know who that is.
But the thing is I was in that last night. I was thinking they were going to do that with Olivia. I thought Negan was going to take her.
They're building up,
and they were going to kill her and return her. But they said the rumor has it that it might be Sasha that goes out that way.
No,
Abraham's girlfriend is who it was. So
yeah, that's true.
They found his bazooka.
I just like Sasha's just one of those characters, man. I just really don't care what they do with her. She's just not.
Oh, dude, it was so creepy. That one savior that was like pawing at what's her name?
Enid. That was so weird.
I was hoping. See, there's so many missed opportunities. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
I get so excited when I see fat survivors. I'm like, oh, it's a fat survivor.
Negan does not play with rape. He might be a bat-wielding psychopath, but he does not agree with rape.
He will shut that shit down.
No exceptions. See, the good thing was like, in the comics, well, they did allude to that in the last episode when he told Dwight, he was like, you can have your pickings. Granted, they want to, more or less, you can't just. But so I really thought it was going to be awesome if Negan, because in the comics, somebody tries to rape a girl and Negan just sticks a knife through the side of his neck, which also is another point. Where's his knife? He needs a big knife on his side.
Big old Bowie knife.
But I was hoping when that guy was talking to Enid, he was going to like stroke her face or something, and Negan would just walk up behind him and stick it through his neck.
I think that's how that guy's going to go too. He's going to straight up try to like rape Enid.
Right. And Negan's not going to play that shit.
Points. JP, something I wrote down. I don't have any reference for it whatsoever, but I figured you like this. It's about Carl. I just said, geez, Carl, shut the hell up.
Carl has yet again screwed us by which I love his badass.
But it doesn't matter because he's dead, right? So it doesn't matter. None of this is happening. It's just a fever dream.
It's sort of like a mass hallucination. Now Negan's
I was like, Carl, did you not see what happened?
Well, did you?
Someone else intervened.
You just watched two people get their
what is wrong
faces
with you?
bashed.
At least he's holding the gun right. I don't know. I mean, at least he's holding it
better
correctly.
than Dwight.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
Is this how you hold it? I don't know. My face hurts.
Like I said, that's great Dwight too.
Thank you.
Thank
you. It's not as good as I've been listening and trying to mimic what you say. But yeah, I think that was the start of Negan and Carl's relationship. I think he sees
But he told him, he was like, I like you.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I like you, and I'm going to get you.
You guys think that Carl stowed away in one of the trucks? You know,
that's what I was. No, because I think Carl was. I was looking for that, and I'll have to go back and rewatch the scene. But I think Carl was standing there as the convoy pulled off.
I couldn't remember that. But I was like,
that's
that would
another
be cool.
big
So now they have
thing.
like a truck full of guns. You know, they finally get back to the sanctuary, and he just opens up.
And in the comics, he had Abraham's gun. Man, you're
whoa! Shots fired! Shots fired! Calm down, bro.
Between Matt's voices,
oh my God! I've not dropped him a notepad. Things are going crazy.
Dance,
you scared Matt.
Just dance.
Woo!
Yeah.
Back to the Future 3, and he starts doing the Michael Jackson stuff now. I'm sorry.
You got so excited. I watched you plateau there.
Yes, it doesn't take much. I'm sorry.
Who did Michael Jackson? Back to the Future 3, Michael Jackson?
They go back to the Wild West, and Buford Tannen's like, dance, and he starts shooting at his feet, and he jumps, and then he stops shooting, and he starts doing like the moonwalk and all sorts of Michael Jackson moves.
Oh, boy.
And they're just watching him like, what?
So now, all right, so that'd be a good way to look. Now, my guess is if someone takes the first shot at Negan, it will be Rosita. Who do you think? Who do you think it's going to be? Because Rosita said, make me a bullet.
At this point, I don't even know. Like, that's why I don't understand why they're worried about finding those guns. Because I always have this feeling that he's going to kill people anyway.
Right.
Like, it doesn't matter what you do. And that's why at the end when he said, see, nobody died. I feel like that was directed, that was kind of like the writers directing that to the audience also.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, check it out. No one died in this episode. But
there will be death moving through this.
I think he's going to kill the girl. What's her name? Olivia? Is that her name?
Oh, really?
Yeah. I feel like he's going to kill her.
I think Spencer's definitely going to go.
Spencer's gone, yeah. Spencer's going to die. He's a little douche.
We'll see if he's got the
guts.
Remember that show? Nickelodeon's Guts?
Oh, I used to love that show.
I don't remember that show.
Oh, it was like they had to do obstacle course. Mike O'Malley. Mo was
when they bring
British
families
referee.
in, it was like a family. Yeah.
Huh.
My family and I did a double dare thing one time in Dollywood.
We did at King's Dominion.
Yeah, right.
Because they used to film the like the live.
So many repressed memories. I'm just going to keep those locked away.
Yeah.
Something else I wrote down is Dwight going to he could start a career as a greeting card writer because he said to Rosita, "Took all your guns, most of your beds. I hope you find somewhere to lay that pretty little head." And I was like, what is happening? That was a very sweet sentiment.
That was. Now,
Happy birthday,
that brings up a good point. The mattresses. Now, how screwed up was that? They took their mattresses. See, and it could vary. But see, I don't think Michonne's stupid enough to go out and take the shot at Negan. You know, she's kind of. Right. And I was waiting for Rick, man. And again, a few spoilers from the comics, but I mean, that's where the source material is. So, of course, we're going to look to it. You know, when you do an equation, you have to look at like your base formula as a guide. So, you know, I thought
I'll take
in the
your
comic,
word for that. I don't know anything about math.
Oh, man, it was so bad. Rick, you know, in the comics was playing this whole, like, I'm Negan's bitch thing. And then Andrea's like, are you really just going to lay down to this guy? And Rick tells her, no, I'm not. But I need the town to think that we are, so that Negan won't suspect anything. Because if I tell everyone we're planning a revolt, then Negan is not stupid. When he comes around,
hey guys, spread the word. We're planning a revolt. Don't tell Negan. It's going to be a surprise.
When he walks in, people are like, revolt! People are pointing at him.
That's so funny.
But, you know, and so he tells Andrea. So I was waiting for the whole, when him and Michonne were having their little monologue at the end. That's not a monologue. That's a dialogue.
There you go.
Monologue will be one person.
Duologue?
Oh, it's too early. When they were having their little dialogue, I thought for sure he was going to bring up and say.
Yeah, same
that,
here. But see, I think at the comic at this point, he already knew about the kingdom. Like they were already in the fold. At this point, it's just the pussies at the hilltops. So.
Right.
Oh boy, I didn't mean to use that word.
That's okay.
I thought you were talking about Shiva.
Oh jeez.
The kingdom. The pussy is in the kingdom.
No.
Shiva. She's a big pussy.
Oh God! Oh
Shiva,
boy.
the tiger.
You're too clever, too early.
What are you? Yeah, man, I've been going since like 3 a.m. Dude.
Yeah,
I'm ready
for
to go.
me.
I
can't wait to get home and look at my bed and crash. It's gonna be exciting. 10 a.m. I take naps when my friends get up and go to work.
I'm gonna go to Target and get a scarf today.
Ooh, what kind? Like a red one?
I don't know. I've never worn a scarf. I'm like, my neck is kind of long. It's hard to keep it warm.
And then you got all those bumps because you are you trying to push the segue button?
I'm trying to push
It's not working, is it?
Yeah.
Keep going, JP. What else can you get at Target while you're there?
I might get a Justice League shirt.
Nice.
This is gonna be bad.
I'm looking for a coat
This
hanger.
is gonna
or a
be
coat
bad.
because I need to find something to hang my coats up. I'm just putting it on a chair right now.
This razor burn is killing me.
The thing.
Jeez,
Have you found it yet?
No, I'm like a father. Do I really have to press this?
Oh, you're on the. Don't make
really
me
have
come
to
back
press
there.
this? That wasn't loud enough.
That was the equivalent of.
Oh no, that's the wrong.
That's the end of the
one.
show. Okay, guys, wrap it up. 5 stars. Okay, bye.
But
no, that was
so-
the equivalent of the dad saying, "Don't make me pull this car over."
Right.
I just. Ooh,
But I
more
really-
repressed memories.
I really thought that was going to pop up, that we were going to, find out that Rick is actually plotting this whole time.
We're seeing a little bit of it. Him holding Lucille and having that.
There's so many opportunities, and I understand the point, but there's so many opportunities they could have just popped Negan.
Yeah,
and
but the
no
thing
one would
is-
have realized. But I know that they're outnumbered. They don't know how loyal the saviors are because, let's face it, I mean, you could rule by fear, but I mean, in that small of a group, it's easy for like one of our people to rule by fear because it's so many people. But I mean, with like a group like Negan's, I mean, I would feel like one person got out of hand. It would be pretty easy to be like, y'all sick of Negan shit? Okay, cool. Let's take him out.
Right. And of course we know like they all have the guns and they're all pointed at him and whatnot, but we all know for the history of this show that 20 people can be shooting at you, but as long as you duck and get behind cover, you're going to be fine.
Yeah, because bullets totally don't penetrate.
Bullets travel at a 90-degree angle. I don't know if you knew that. They come out and they take a sharp left.
Well, they're actually like the opposite of heat seekers. They go away from the heat.
Yeah.
It's really hard to get one. But the thing is it's in the comics too. The one drawback to the Saviors were they didn't have a lot of guns. Remember that? Because when Rick and them were planning to go fight them at the sanctuary, that was one of the things was they don't have a lot of guns.
Well, their big advantage was that they were able to make their own ammo.
Yeah.
Negan was like, just because you don't see us with guns doesn't mean we don't have them, dumbass.
But seeing this, they're just flaunting them around like we got all your guns, we've got our own guns.
Speaking of making ammo, I'm so glad I got to see Eugene, got to hear some of his wisdom for a little bit in this episode.
I love that character.
I love Eugene so much.
You can tell he's still really solid.
That death is going to affect me. I can't imagine anybody else on the show dying right now that it would affect me as much as him dying.
Oh, really?
I really don't give a shit about anybody else on the show, but I like his simplicity and I like his pure-heartedness.
I think
I
would
mean,
I'm sure I'd be
inside.
affected, but I think his death would affect me the most.
Well, it's just innocence in a way. I mean,
Michonne puts herself out there. I mean, she keeps doing dangerous
she
shit.
puts out. Rick,
Yeah,
Rick
right.
can back that up.
My
you
sweet
didn't.
chocolate goddess.
Went there. But
She's
yeah,
looking a little thin, too. The one where she was she
a
had
lot
the
of them
deer
are,
on her.
man. Yeah, freaking just again, and it's not just my dad keeps bringing it up, and I haven't said a word about it. Forget that he's not muscular. Jeffrey Dean Morgan looks like he needs to eat a biscuit or something, man. I mean, he's getting rather scrawny. He's tall, but forget that. I understand they don't have to necessarily make him big and beast like he was in the comics, but I mean, at least make him 150
Dude,
pounds.
I loved his intro so much coming up. I thought he was whistling "If I Only Had a Brain" from Wizard of Oz at first, or one of those, but it was he was making something up. But he was like, little pig, let me in. I was like, oh, I love you, Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yeah, he does a really good job at that. It's just like at this point, though, I'm loving his portrayal, just like I really love the governor. It's one of those characters you hate to see them gone, but you want him to die so freaking bad. I'm right there with Negan. Like, I love him. I think he's got a great screen presence. I think he's played very well, but I want to see someone. I haven't got to the point where I'm kind of like, you know what? I kind of like Negan. I don't want them to kill him yet. I'm still at the point where, he's just so sinister. I just want him to die. I would love to if Carl would have just went, pow.
That would have been pretty cool.
But how cool would it be if they killed
Carl,
Negan and
just
set
sit
Daryl?
down and shut up.
Yeah. It's
Sorry.
like, stop trying to be your dad.
No, it doesn't matter. He's dead. Sorry, it doesn't matter. I'm going to keep bringing that up. And we got a Neganism that you. I got so excited. I punched the microphone. We got a Neganism, the one that I remember you said a few weeks ago you didn't know if they would ever use this line because it seemed kind of dirty.
Sliding the penis down the throat.
Oh, don't even. No. Let's be graphic. He said, "I just slid my dick down your throat and you thanked me."
Yeah, I really didn't know if the show had the balls to put that in there.
Apparently, they got the balls and the dick.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah,
And we
wow.
thank them for it.
Yeah, and we thank them for it as we do.
I was shocked. I didn't know for sure that if they would throw that in there. So I was pretty
This is
impressed
9
to see
p.m.
that
on
in there.
primetime television. We'll do whatever the hell we want.
They're getting to the point with The Walking Dead. They can pretty much do whatever. I mean, they're going to have to really.
Still never going to see a titty.
No.
That's never going to happen.
No
Nah,
nipple?
man. No nipple.
No nip slips. I'm trying to think if there's anything else we didn't cover. They burned the mattresses. Dwight's a douche. Daryl's
We actually got through the whole,
Jeffrey Dean Morgan's playing Negan very well.
So where is Maggie? She's just being
She's
hidden?
at the hilltop.
So that's what he was talking about. Oh, that's right. Okay, because that's what Father Gabriel was saying when it was nice to dig a grave that I knew would stay empty.
Right.
Because I thought he was talking about hiding guns there or something, hiding stuff there.
Talking about Maggie, because Maggie's at the hilltop chilling. We're going to see her next week. Going to see more of Jesus.
Okay.
I hope, man, Jesus is so awesome in the comics. I hope they actually like open up his sky. I think they are. I think we're going to see him fight. And
didn't your mom ever teach you? You can't give it all up front. You got to keep them wanting a little bit more. Keep them in suspense.
Got to have more faith in Jesus.
I'd like
to have
Jesus
faith in
saves.
Jesus.
I'd like to see him and Aaron get together. I'm not going to lie. I'm not a fan of Aaron's. Aaron's
No, I'm with you. No, I think Aaron's guy just holds him back. He's too much of a wuss, and Aaron could be such a brave.
They would be a real power couple.
Yeah. Well, and actually, aren't they starting to somewhat talk in the comics? Haven't they mentioned like Aaron asked about you or something, or Aaron said hi?
Who were the people in the church support group that was Aaron? Because he was like, "Don't, now's not the time." I thought the guy was going to stand up and say, well, that was Aaron, right?
Yeah.
Or was that? Yeah, I thought he was going to stand up like, Aaron and I are in love, and we don't care what any of you have to say.
Guys, we knew you were gay.
Great. That's great, guys. Can we figure out how not to get Olivia killed?
Can we figure out how not to get someone else's head bashed
gay
in?
rights. Cool. Okay, we got bigger stuff going on right now. It's the zombie apocalypse. I get it though. Gay rights.
You two live
still,
together. We figured this was happening.
We did.
We've heard the squeals. We know what's going on.
Yeah. I knew you weren't grunting from trying to take off a bunch of zombie heads.
We've seen your furniture. None of it's that heavy.
Oh, man. Speaking of furniture, Rick just destroyed that apartment, that house. I was like, bro, when I'm searching for things,
Spencer's?
Oh yeah. And I was like, I just like to lift a mattress so Spencer was the one that hid the guns.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Spencer is
and a bunch of canned food
and liquor.
Oh, and like a half a bottle of liquor.
Yeah.
But how are you supposed to get to that gun if you need it in an emergency?
That's stupid.
Rick was like, I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't need that. Ooh, I might keep that for later. I don't need that.
Your Rick is getting spot on now. I'm kind of getting jealous.
Negan, I'm gonna take you down. I'm gonna kill you. I don't know when, but I'm gonna kill you.
It's like a 1930s mob.
No, Carl. Yeah. that's my Rick.
It's almost like the penguin.
I don't know why it is. Judith doesn't look anything like me. Yeah. I still love you though. I'll raise you and love you. Yeah.
It's kind of like Peter Griffin taking over the Rick role.
Hey, Michonne.
I would love to see you know how they did the Blue Moon, like the Star Wars parody with.
Oh yeah, Blue Harvest.
Blue Harvest, excuse me. Yeah, Blue Moon's a delicious beer.
It is.
I would kill to see the like Family Guy or South Park or both do like a parody of The Walking Dead.
They've had to have done something where a character from, I think they did one where Norman Reedus played Daryl. In like one of those flashback clips.
On Family Guy?
Yeah,
really?
We'll just search Family Guy Walking Dead and we'll find out. But
Yeah,
I feel
I'll show
like
you
they've
that awesome
done it.
commercial.
Oh,
so
yeah,
is there
yeah,
anything we're missing? Rosita's out for revenge. Spencer's probably going to die because he's being a douche. Michonne, we really don't know where her head is. You know, she wants revenge. She wants to do this, and she's kind of in disbelief that Rick is just submitting the way he is. But again, if you follow the comics, we think that Rick's got a plan. He's putting it together in his head. He just can't spill the beans yet. Enid got a little interesting. I wonder who let her out of the closet. You know what I mean? Did Carl let her out of the closet? Because remember, he locked her in the closet. Season 6.
Oh, that's true.
She's like, "Let me out, Carl," and he's like, "I don't have time for this shit. I just watched someone die."
Carl, you're gonna make a great boyfriend one day.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, yeah, Carl, jury's still out. May or may not be dead.
Carl's
don't know.
freaking
we
dead.
don't know.
No, Carl.
Jury's still out on that.
Daryl may be a bad guy. There's a possibility we could see that transition, which again would make it much, much easier for them to get rid of him as far as killing him off in a cool way. Have him kind of save the day because we've seen him save the day so many times. This would be a different way for him to save the day. And then die, which it would be really cool to see him become a bad guy. But obviously, if Negan's around, if Negan is to die, Daryl's not taking the mantle. I feel like Daryl will only be bad while Negan's over top of him.
Right.
You know, maybe Negan will be like, "I'll kill every one of them if you don't follow me." So Daryl will become a bad guy, not by, because I don't think Daryl would choose to be a bad guy.
Okay.
All right, Negan, I'll do your bad guy stuff. Can I get my motorcycle? An extra can
all I
of
gotta
dog
do
food.
is ask. When he said, "You want me to go?" All you got to do is ask. Idiot me was like, "Please go." What are the two magic? Oh, thank you. Of course.
I was too. I'm like, what? I did too. I'm like,
fuck off. I don't know what it is.
Leave now. Go, please. What?
I don't understand.
Thank you.
¿Qué hora es? What does he want to do?
So I think we've covered everything. I'm trying to think if there's anything. I mean, I'm sure there's little details we left out, but overall,
I think we solidly covered the episode.
We hit the majority of the episode.
This was a solid episode, folks. Yeah. I mean, our podcast, not Walk. I mean, The Walking Dead was good, but this
actually really enjoyed this episode.
Solid podcast.
Let's end with ratings. I am going to give this an 8.5 out of 10. I think it was a good episode.
Okay, I did like it. I did enjoy it. It was better than last week. Because last week just went on too long.
Yep.
I need to start writing down what I gave it. I'm gonna give this one an 8.
An 8?
I'll give it an 8. I like to stay in that region. Has to be really bad to go below a 6.
JPZ?
Geez. I was thinking like a 7. I mean, I thought it was really good. It was almost, man, straight. Like you said, I mean, Negan's tone was a little bit different. He was a little gruffer than the comic, but it was almost straight out of the pages of the comic.
When he came in the comics, he came in almost like wanting to be Rick's best. Like it was written really cool in the comics because it's almost like in Negan's mind, he doesn't realize that he'll never be able to be friends with Rick because of what he did. It's like in his mind when he rolls into the comics, what? We can be friends now. That sucked that I had to kill your friend, but now I'm forgiving. I'm letting you keep half your food. You know, why don't you like me? Why can't we be friends? Whereas in the show, it's much more of walking in like the schoolyard bully. You know, and that's just my interpretation of it. Somebody might be like,
I think I remember in the comic, like the first thing he says when he gets there is a whole, slide my dick in your throat. And so at the end, when Rick says thank you, Rick, knows, okay.
I think that was at the end of that. I really do. I think that was as they were leaving because Rick hands him the bat and he says that. I think that was as Rick was leaving.
But I think he said it twice, like he did the setup way earlier.
Yeah, like he set up for it.
Punchline at the end.
Yeah, I really.
Anyway,
I think I'd have to go back. It's been so long.
Why are they letting Michonne keep her sword?
I thought that too.
I was like, well, they're going to take her sword.
I guess they realize though. I mean, they want them to go out and scavenge supplies and do things, but you can't. I mean, Negan's already done some things that, in my mind, make his philosophy of how he's keeping everyone alive completely stupid. Like it's a lot of things. I think that they're trying to play it off as he's trying to do things that he thinks will keep people alive, but in reality, I mean, you're leaving them completely defenseless. I mean, say another group comes in and kills them and steals that's your stuff. I mean, if nothing else, I'd leave saviors at every new town that I conquered. For one, I wouldn't just leave them completely on their own because, I mean, they could all just pack up and roll out. And what you would be none the wiser. So, but Negan's, I think they realize we've got to leave them with some kind of weapons or else how can we expect to come back and there actually be anything for us to collect, So that's just the way I think.
Yeah, I would have laughed really hard when Michonne gave up shooting and grabbed her sword. I was waiting. I was like, oh, it's going to be really funny if she misses with the sword too. Go to slide. That's what I would have done. I'd be like, oh, you got to be kidding.
Come on.
Just push him down and just start stabbing at him.
Once you drop the deer, I just kept thinking,
this is so frustrating.
I'm so angry. Well, that was another episode in the bag as we actually had only 4 more episodes till the mid-season finale. Mid-season finale.
Oh, wow. It's only 4 more. Yep. That means, geez, dude.
A lot's
Thanksgiving's right around the corner.
Yep.
Oh.
I wonder how far they're going to go this season as far as all-out war.
I think they're going to end the season setting up for all-out war, honestly. I mean, they can make an entire another season off of all-out war.
That means Rick's going to be like a bitch for a full season almost.
Yeah, y'all hang tight. Yikes. Bitch Rick isn't a permanent thing.
Bitch Rick don't fool around.
Bitch Rick don't play.
That's so fun. Bitch Rick sounds like the name they would give me in prison. What's up, Bitch Rick?
Don't play with tricks.
I really don't. Come here, Bitch Rick. You gonna eat that bread?
Bitch Rick don't want no tricks.
This is my cornbread. You give me your cornbread, Bitch Rick. Okay, here you go.
My name's Matt.
They call me
Bitch Rick now.
Rich Bick. What?
Now they're just not making any sense.
I was so confused.
I was confused by Rick, but Bick?
Oh, Rich Bick.
Rich Bick. Well, that's been a good time, and we will see you guys again here next Monday.
Let's see those comments come. We're getting more and more comments.
Yeah, keep commenting. We love comments. We love them. We love them. We love them. And I actually read a comment I'm going to speculate on real quick where a lovely, lovely person had said that they liked our podcast better than any other Walking Dead thing on YouTube and said that they were going to go unsubscribe from all of them and only follow us. But hey, there's enough love to go around. You don't have to unsubscribe to other Walking Dead internet sources and just focus on us.
Joyce Stone.
Yes. You can like us and you can like everyone else. You know what I mean? You don't have to unsubscribe.
Love us all.
we're all in this game because of our love for The Walking Dead. So even, other channels, let them keep you subscribed.
Yeah.
But, you could share us with your friends a little bit more than you share them.
That would be nice.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
And stay tuned for the contest details.
Oh, yeah, to win a Negan replica bat. This one's a big, full-scale, like, foam bat. You could actually hit someone with it and only slightly concuss them.
And then a second, we're going to have 2 prizes. It's going to be first place will get the bat, and then second place will get Daryl's ear necklace. So I'm really excited about that.
Going to be interesting.
We all donated an ear.
Yeah, we
and I
love
might have a third gift also.
A third nipple?
I don't want to give it away, but it's a.
No.
I thought that was just a mole. I don't know, man. The jury's still out on that. Moles lactate, right? Okay, so anyway, that was much. I've got another one. It's Vinyl Idols is the name of it, but it's Sheriff Rick Grimes.
Oh, okay.
And it looks like season 3 Rick with like the sunken in eyes and the thing. I'll show it to you, but I've had that on my desk. It's still in box.
Sweet.
I don't want to give it away, but I might if we have to have 3 winners because I just want to philanthropize. Is that going to work? Philanthropize?
Yeah, I'll see if I can't find something to donate. You're not getting my Walking Dead Funkos, though. Not happening. I just got my Negan in, and it looks sweet. But, all right, so we will see you guys again next week. I'm Justin.
Hey, I'm Matt.
And I'm JP.
And that's it.
Later.